Hey folks, this is BestInSlot, and in tonight's video we are going to crack open the case of E750, otherwise known as the Scorpius Rex. We have a lot of information about its potential design, what inspired it, what it's likely to look like, where it came from, and how it might fit in the story. Lots of really interesting stuff coming up. But two things to get through first. First of all, obviously, humongous mammoth Indominus Rex-sized spoilers ahead in this video, of course, and secondly, all the information you're going to see tonight comes to us courtesy, as per usual, from Luca2951 specifically, if you want to go follow them on Twitter, and you should. Luca has time and time again proven themselves to be a very valuable and trustworthy source. I have no reason to doubt any of this information, but if they're wrong, then we'll never listen to them again, and it's all good. So, right, let's get started. So we're going to go through a few different things, and these are all direct quotes. The E750 Scorpius Rex already has its design on the hands of certain people, assuming that means in the hands, and it's certain people out there know what it looks like, and are probably modelling it for toys and stuff like that, and of course people at Camp Cretaceous know what it looks like. He will be completely different from what we're used to. His visual is much more monster than dinosaur, just like Indominus and Indoraptor for instance. It will probably be leaked soon, around 2 to 3 weeks. Now I believe when that was originally said was at least a week or so ago, so we should expect to see some information about the Scorpius, its actual final design, in the next 1 to 2 weeks I would say, and of course when we get that publicly, if it's not a dangerous leak, I will show you it. If not, we do have an alternative in mind. But this is what we're going to focus on at first, the design of the creature, this monstrous creature. It is worth noting that the leaked toy, and I say leaked very lightly there, that I showed you last week or the week before, is basically nonsense, and E750 is going to look nothing like that. That was totally a fake, came from a bad source, blah 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 blah. And that's why you should find good sources that you trust. Important to note for the future. Rather than just breaking this down though, let's actually look at some specific text about the design. So, he's inspired by the slasher from the series Terra Nova. That's also called the Ace Raptor or the Acaraptor. I don't know how the pronunciation works there. Just like various other elements that will be presented in the series. Now we're going to take a look at the slasher in a second and we'll get a good idea for what this E750 is likely to look like, but I just want to focus on that for a second because this is really interesting. Now Terra Nova was a relatively short-lived sci-fi action program from like a decade back or something like that, can't quite remember. So what does the slasher look like? Well, it was hard to get a good image from the internet of the actual slasher from the show. We can see here this is raptor-esque creature. It's got a crest on the head at the front. We've got some sort of proto-feathering spiking out at the back, and it's a very angry boy. He's not happy about the situation. A very talented artist who I cannot for the life of me, I just know they're called JV. JV, if you're out there, let us know. I would love to plug your content. I could not find the artist at all, but they've done their artist's rendition of what it looks like in the show. And if you Google for this, the slasher, Terra Nova, or the Ace Raptor, you'll get a lot of images that look like this. Now, this is not, of course, what E750 is going to look like, but it is inspired, and we'll see something interesting about that in a second. But I do want to point out, this is a pretty cool looking dinosaur. It's definitely got some monstrous qualities to it, but it has some distinctly dinosaur ones as well. And maybe we'd like to see some feathering on the arms, that would be nice, but generally speaking, pretty cool. However, and shout out to you, Tyrannus, for giving me this connection. We know there was concept art for a whole suite of hybrids for Camp Cretaceous. I'm going to bring that up now as well, and I've highlighted the one in the top left. Now, these were all obviously scrapped. None of these so far have made it into the show. However, that one in the top left, I'm going to bring up a more direct comparison here. We know this is inspired by the slasher, and if you compare these two creatures, this is, you know, Camp Cretaceous hybrid concept art on the right, and on the left we have the Terra Nova slasher. There's a lot of similarities. We have the crest above the head. We have what looks like proto-feathering spikes sort of here at the back. We have these long, sort of very skinny, spooky claws going on. The E750, we talked about this briefly in the past, is a halfway step between the Indominus and the Indominus Rex. The Indoraptor and the Indominus Rex, I should say. Now what I mean by that, and I think Luca was misinterpreted in the past, is that not that it's a progression between the two. This is not, you know, they were shrinking down the Indominus to make it the Indoraptor and the Scorpius kind of came between. What it means by a half step between the two is that it's got design elements from both. Genetically, it's not linked, it's not in that progression, but it's got aesthetics similar to both dinosaurs. And we could see that, you know, here this would be very Indominus Rex-esque, these kind of osteoderms along the back and that thick sort of trunk area here and the neck. Even the neck, you know, this has got like a dewlap going on, and this doesn't quite have a dewlap, but it's got a sort of stretchy necky dewlap bit, sort of. And then the claws, I think, are quite Indoraptor-esque. This is it kind of looks like Mickey Mouse at the moment, but I would say this is this guy up here is a pretty good estimation of what this creature might look like. I think it looks fantastic, I've got to say. I think it would fit really well into Camp Cretaceous. It's decidedly a hybrid and not a dinosaur. I think size-wise, if you look at the tank and stuff, it's probably about right. And it would also fit that big dinosaur niche, you know, that the Rex and the Indominus Rex have been filling in recent seasons. I don't know, I'm very curious to see how close to this it comes in the final design. Of course, it might be more close to these two, but, I mean, there are clear similarities between these two, so are we looking at a very close approximation of what E750 is actually going to look like? Where is that scorpion going to come in? Are we, in fact, going to get this, but with a scorpion tail? It does have like a little bit of detailing on the tail. I wonder if that's meant to be a little hint there. Anyways, that's all I've got for the design of the E750, but we do have a little bit more information about not only the future of Camp Cretaceous, but how the E750 might fit into the plotline. So there's more chance of sort of story spoilers ahead. Again, none of this is concrete, none of this is, I would say, big information, but I figured I'd give you a second warning just in case. We all good? If you've come this far, you're probably sticking around, I know, but just in case, right? So another quote on the E750 by Luca. He's a creation of Wu by request from Manticore. And there's Wu looking immensely judgmental in this woman. This is perfectly placed. It's funny, I do these sort of videos and it feels like, you know, when you do a PowerPoint presentation in like high school in like year 8 or something, it's kind of what it feels like. I'm not gonna lie, I should just do these in bloody PowerPoint at this point. Anyways, it's a creation of Wu. So Wu created E750. Now I think we knew that was coming. This little lad over here, the birthday boy on the left, he said, you don't even know what Wu's up to. You know, he definitely suggested that Wu was working on some secret projects, some big secret projects. And it seems that he knew about Wu's involvement in the design of the E750. I really do want to call it Scorpius Rex, but E750 just sounds cooler. Now, my question here then, because Wu is working for Manticore. He is designing a hybrid dinosaur for Manticore, assuming these are true. That raises at least two very interesting questions. Why were Manticore trying to spy on Wu? Why were Manticore sending that lass in? I cannot remember her name for the life of me. Brooklyn Yasmin, why do I not remember her? Anyway, they sent that lass in, right? And she, you know, the thumb drive into the drone, and the drone flew off, and that was, you know, we know that was Manticore. She was being blackmailed to help Manticore. But why are they doing that if Wu is already working for them? Because surely he can then provide the information. So were Manta kind of trying to, you know, double their security? Were they having Wu work on the Scorpius but also spying on him at the same time to make sure he was being truthful and that they knew what he was doing? Okay, new theory. We know that Manticore aren't above blackmail, right? So this won't be what it is, because they will really want to make Wu evil in this series for God knows what reason. But what if... Okay, hear me out. So we know that that lass was being blackmailed by Manticore. What if she sends all of this private information on Wu to Manticore? Manticore then use that same information that they blackmailed to get to blackmail Wu to make them a hybrid. That would make a lot of sense. I think that would actually be a fairly logical story progression if Wu wasn't like this megalomaniac, super evil villain. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I am very curious what the drone and Manta and E7, how that all ties together. I can totally see Wu being the kind of guy to, you know, if he's paid enough to go and make a massive hybrid for an outside company. That wouldn't surprise me, but the inclusion of the drone and the spying on Wu makes it a little bit weird. I mean, even if they weren't spying on Wu directly, the fact that they used a drone to get information about Jurassic World when they already have an inside man would again seem odd. This woman's really freaking me out. Just before there's a logo, so you're looking at something. Can I cover her face? No, that's all you're allowed. No, we're just going to cover Wu up. I just want to go back to the Terra Nova stuff. I didn't want to mention it in case it counted as a story spoiler earlier. So, Terra Nova, obviously there's a lot of time wibbly-wobbliness. That's fine, that's not going to be Camp Cretaceous. One of the sort of central tenets to the plot was the industrialists who come in and try to mine and farm the area, fighting against the people trying to protect it. So, applying that same logic to Camp Cretaceous, we assume that Biosyn are going to have Manticore I should say, are going to have an increased presence in Season 3. Let's say they send some people to Isla Nublar. Maybe their plan is to steal the animals and to farm resources from the island and steal information and just do general evil Manticore stuff, right? And probably come to recover E750 as well. The kids, who have basically colonized the island, the colonists as they were known in Terra Nova, have set up their base, they've got weapons, Ben has become a superhuman Rambo. You know, I can remember every single character except that one girl. Anyway, I'm sorry, one girl, I really am. I refuse to Google it. Anyways, so maybe this colonist versus industrialist battle for the resources of this prehistoric island is where the series is drawing inspiration from Terra Nova. Why it would draw inspiration from Terra Nova in the first place is utterly beyond me. I'm not complaining, I think it's a cool idea. I'm not sure why it's happening, but I do appreciate it. Maybe Season 4 can be inspired by Primeval, who knows? Last bit of information here, this is just about the future of Camp Cretaceous. We're going to have 5 seasons. The third one now by the end of the first semester, that's Season 3 we're getting in May. The fourth by the end of the year, kickstarting Dominion's marketing in a special event, we'll talk about that in a second, and the finale in the beginning of 2022 after the first Jurassic World Dominion trailer. So a few things to pick out here. The first is that there's going to be a sizable gap, I would say, between Season 3 and Season 4. If they'd stuck to the same schedule they currently have, Season 3 would be in May, Season 4 would be in August, Season 5 would be in November. They would finish this year. Now, I'm assuming Camp Cretaceous has been planned for a while and in development for at least a couple of years. So assuming that Jurassic World, it was always planned to tie in with Jurassic World Dominion somehow, then the delay to Jurassic World Dominion would obviously cause problems. I'm a little surprised they haven't spaced it out more already, but it sounds like after Season 3, we're going to be waiting probably 6-7 months or something like that for Season 4, rather than the usual 3 months. The second important thing is, of course, the words special event, and that's kickstarting the marketing for Jurassic World Dominion, but it's in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. Now that to me suggests some sort of crossover. Maybe... Okay, so I'm going to speculate a little bit here. Season 3, Biosyn, E750, culmination of a storyline that's been building for 3 seasons. Season 4 taking place during the events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The campers are stuck in a different part of the island entirely. In Fallen Kingdom, they didn't explore much of the island, they were very much contained to the south. So let's say the campers are up at their camp, and we know Camp Cretaceous itself is more to the north near Mount Sibo. So maybe Season 4 links in a little bit with Fallen Kingdom. Maybe we're not going to see the actual volcano, but maybe the special event is seeing some people from Fallen Kingdom, Owen, Blue, someone from Fallen Kingdom, being involved in Season 4 of Camp Cretaceous, even if only on a sort of small scale. And then Season 5, the finale, the beginning of 2022, but specifically after the first Jurassic World Dominion trailer. Now what that first trailer is going to do here is establish that genetic power is unleashed, dinosaurs are everywhere, they're all over the world, many different companies are making dinosaurs. We know this is the general idea behind Dominion. So just like with Battle at Big Rock, it wouldn't be outside the realms of possibility for us to have a story that takes place outside of Isla Nublar entirely. And I think at some point it becomes a little ridiculous to keep the kids on the island. So maybe Season 5, the kids are back home, maybe they go on a camping trip, maybe they just go hang out somewhere, I don't know, they get together for something, anniversary reunion or something like that, and, you know, all hell breaks loose, dinosaur style. And that would tie in really well with Dominion. And it would also, because it's come after the Dominion trailer, then that kind of widespread dinosaur-ness wouldn't seem so out of place. Even though Battle of Big Rock already sort of established that was a while ago. That's all speculation, but I think that ties in and makes quite a lot of sense, personally. But we'll have to see how that goes. Either way, that's all the information I've got for you folks. As always, again, a humongous shout out to Luca. Don't know what I'd do without him. He's a salt of the earth, good lad, etc. We've seen potential designs for E750. We've seen it's going to be made by Wu for Manticore. We know how many seasons they're going to be. We've got story ideas. Lots and lots of great stuff. Yeah, really excited. Some cool ideas here. I just want to see what E750 looks like, honestly. It's been too long now. We've been waiting. We've been not patient at all, but still, I'm excited to see what it looks like. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments section down below. Again, go follow Luca2951 over on Twitter. Lots of, if you want to get this information nice and early, you know, he's a good person to follow. And I will see you lovely folks next time. If you enjoyed this video, if you're excited about Camp Cretaceous Season 3 and the reveal of E750 and also my incredible PowerPoint making skills and smiley faces, please do hit the like button. I'll see you lovely folks next time. Cheers much love as always. Bye-bye.
Reaching out.